咪，我们今天要讲什么故事
For
the site.
the site.
I guess that's right. Fartiste.
Fartiste.
An explosively funny, mostly true story. Fartiste. Yeah, it must be Fartiste. Fartiste. Kurt Vonnegut? Is that who wrote this? No. It's dedicated to Kurt Vonnegut. Joseph Pujol was a French boy of 8 when he stumbled upon his very best trait. While splashing around in the ocean one day, not far from his house in the town of Marseille, one minute by chance he was flexing his gut, the next he had sounds coming out of his butt. Joe gasped with shock, then roared with delight, and soon he was sucking in air day and night. High or low, soft or loud and sweet, even tart, he was honoring his skill, the art of the fart. Noise from his backside, wow, what a gift. His fartistic training was amazingly swift. In the army, his buddies would fall on the floor as he squeezed out some songs or the loud sounds of war. They'd all laugh so hard at the music that he'd hear from Private Pujol, who was playing his rear. Joseph grew up to become a fine baker of tarts and baguettes, a respectable maker. He married Elizabeth and had a family of 10 and put on a show for the kids now and then. With so many Pujols, money was tight. He tried to pay bills by performing at night. Everyone laughed when he dressed as a clown, played the trombone, and sang around town. At long last he used his skill no one had in public on stage. He farted, egad, fashioning music out of the air, blasting out tunes from his derriere. One day a baker with a butter and yeast, and the next, voila, he was Joe the Fartiste. Oh, Fartiste, because it's French. Now we got it, Fartiste. Joe made his way to Great Moulin Rouge in the city of Paris at a hall that was huge. There, Sarah Bernhardt, who was all the rage, earned 8,000 francs every night on stage. Dancers kicked wildly to light up the hall, and Toulouse-Lautrec was painting it all. The city was shining, grand place for a show, but was Paris ready for farts from our Joe? Up on the stage was a tall, dashing guy, long red coat with tails, white shirt and tie. His black satin pants had a very strange shape, with a hole in the back for the air to escape. Solemn and calm, not a sign of stage fright, Joe fired off noise most impolite, announcing a sound with a face oh so serious, performing it straight away, mysterious, delirious. He could whisper or sneeze, achoo, Gesundheit, or boom, boom, blast off like a gun or dynamite. Animal sounds he'd do like an arf from a dog, a cry from a rooster, a croak from a frog, a bit of Beethoven, a song by Mozart, a Debussy ditty, all through a fart. Men chewed their mustache, keeping straight faces, while women went breathless in corsets with lace. As Joe carried on, there were snickers and wiggles, followed by a chorus of uncontrollable giggles. Finally, shrieks of mirth would be heard. Could you die laughing? He was just so absurd. Nurses were stationed in the aisle to scout for those laughing so hard they completely passed out. Joe never stopped adding new sounds to his act, keeping the theater completely jam-packed. The strangest part of this story to tell is that this flagellant actions completely lacked smell. With air in him for seconds, no problem at all. No hint or a scent that would stink up the hall. Presidents came, even a king and a queen, raising their brows, wanting to deem him obscene. But no matter how proper or sophisticated, all of them ended up discombobulated. He led sing-alongs for convulsions of fourth, increased when he sounded the ripping of cloth. He'd blow out the gaslights on stage, one by one, to bid people adieu. From the poof, he was done. They're pretty much laughing pretty hard.
I know, it's funny.
Famous and loved, the Fartiste at his height was pulling in 20,000 francs every night. Wow. The toast of Paris from January to December, for those who saw him, will forever remember. Of all performers, maybe last but not least, was the man who made his pants dance, Joe the Fartiste. Encore. I can truthfully say that I've never seen people laugh, cry, shout, and scream as they did when this little man with his deadpan face pretended to be unaware of his incongruence. People were literally writhing about. Women stuffed in their corsets were being carried out by nurses. Eyewitnesses at the Moulin Rouge performance of Le Pétomane, 1895.
It's a true story.
It's a true story. Yes, Joseph Pujol was a real person born in Marseille, France in 1857. One summer day when he was 8, he was with his family at the beach while exploring the ocean. He held his breath. Suddenly he felt a blast of water inside his stomach area. He rushed to the shore and watched a stream of salt water flow out of himself. At first he was horrified, thinking this was some dreadful disorder. But soon he realized he had the ability to control the muscles of his intestines. With that great deal of practice, he was able to take air into a sphincter and release it in a wide variety of sounds. Wow, do you want me to read all of this?
No, really. Don't have
But
to.
as true story.
Can you try? Mia, you
No,
want to try?
thank you.
Mia, want to try?
No, thank you.
Xiao might be able to.
Not without
So
pooping.
what's the name of the story again?
So the name of the
Is it
story,
Fartiste or
Fartiste.
Fartiste?
An explosively funny, mostly true story. It is
Yeah.
mostly true.
The end.